Welcome to episode 1 of the San Francisco and San Jose in Nscale. My highest priority freight trains would be the coast merchandise, less than carload, overnight express trains between San Francisco and Los Angeles. Southern Pacific operated 4 trains a day, 2 in each direction. For my 50s goal, I needed F7010 flat cars, custom fabricated with rub rails, tie downs, and circus-style loading ramps. Because this was my highest priority freight train, I wanted to get as close as possible to the original prototype and really do it justice. But at that time, the only commercially available option was the Microtrains Cotton Belt 5-pack with 57-foot flat cars. Although I bought every road number offered, I was not happy with their length or the SP initial logo instead of the spelled out Southern Pacific logo on the side of the flat cars. And I was unhappy with the silver caboose, which was based on a Missouri Pacific prototype. Some years later, Wheels of Time came out with the correct F7010 flat car in Nscale, and I was determined to try and detail it as closely as possible. I harvested some fifth wheels and circus-style loading ramps from some 70s era Microtrains cars I had. I used L-channel styrene to recreate the rub rails. I began detailing my entire fleet of Wheels of Time flat cars. After I was finished with the flat cars, I was surprised to discover that the Microtrains 40-foot trailer is considerably taller than the Atlas 24-foot trailer. Upon further prototype research, I discovered that I needed 35-foot, not 40-foot trailers. I was sure bummed out because after all the time and effort I had spent making the flat cars as accurate as possible, that to make the trailers as accurate as the flat cars was a new hurdle I had to overcome. Bachmann made a 35-foot trailer, but it had the wrong details for the Southern Pacific PMT 35-foot trailer, but at least it matched the height of the Atlas 24-foot trailer. I asked TRS Trains on Facebook, a respected 3D printer who had previously done the 22-foot round nose trailers, if he could take on my project copying the Bachmann dimensions, but with the correct PMT details. The 3D printed trailers now needed to be painted and decaled, and I had very limited experience. So I decided to practice on the original Bachmann trailer and see if I could make a representation of this slide top that's on the cover of a Southern Pacific freight and passenger guide. I was really happy with how it turned out, and with the experience and confidence, I began painting all of the 3D printed trailers. But I soon ran into another predicament. The Atlas 24-foot trailers had the truck service logo and the PMT number reversed from the prototype. Now, not only did I have to paint all the 3D printed trailers, but I also had to fix the Atlas factory painted trailers as well. First, I tried to patch over the reversed logo, but the results weren't good. I knew I had to spend the time and effort to do a full strip and a full repaint, because if I didn't do it now, I would regret it later. After I had jumped over all the hurdles, after all the time, money, and effort spent, I finally had a 1950s style Southern Pacific piggyback train that I was happy with. And as Rasch Studios gets closer to the completion of my layout, even though my prototype operations are mostly passenger trains, this will definitely be the first train running laps when my layout is finally up and running.